was named our social media person.
It's a little delayed. That's fine.
Oh,
Well,
it's live right now.
to Still Drippin' Happy Hour. Welcome to the Still Drippin' Happy Hour, episode 100. We're all live tonight. We're all here. Let me see if you can see us. We got Hayes Holla. And we got LP. You guys can talk. There's a microphone
Oh,
here.
my bad.
We're all scrunched in Hayes' garage. We're trying to be a little professional this week. We'll see. Remember to look at the camera up there.
That's right.
There we go. Remember, before we get started on episode 100, this is kind of a not like any episode that we've done before. We'll have people jumping in. We just
There's a comment.
posted
Let's
this.
go, Mike.
3 peas in a pod.
So we just posted this link to the Instagram. So we'll see who jumps in. And they're going to be on the podcast. It's not just to jump in and view the podcast. You'll be live with us. I think we've never done this before, so we're going to try it right now. We've got a comment that just came in. And you can see the comment popping up here. 3 peas in a pod from Big Mike. Thanks, Big Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
We're very appreciative.
Day one supporter.
Day one.
All right. So let's see. How do I get this off? Get that off there. There we go. All right. Well, welcome. Go follow us on Instagram and Twitter at StillDrippinTN. This is going to be a rough and rowdy podcast right here. I think that's trademarked by Barstool, but we're going to go off it anyways. So how are you guys doing?
It's like I feel like this is just going to be a regular old thing.
I'm glad.
And I'm sitting next to Landon.
I'm glad we have your undivided attention as you watch the stats to the UNC Syracuse game that y'all are about to lose. But that's
Are
fine.
you? I bet on UNC to win that game. That is.
We're
garbage.
up by 3 with 5:42 left.
Plenty of time.
All right. Well, we'll get some updates later in from Hayes, I guess. Hayes is smoking a cigar.
What's my garage?
We don't condone drugs, but smoking cigars, that's barely a drug, right? I mean, alcohol is considered a drug, so.
Yeah, then this
whatever.
is
I don't condone anything that's happening around here right now. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Whose
Wait,
beer
you're-
is this?
I don't know. It's here when I got here.
I'm just watering a cigar.
Well, welcome in again. You already heard where to follow. Do we have a sponsorship update? We don't have a sponsorship update. We're waiting on a sponsorship update. If you own a beer, get at us. We're trying to start a drinking game with how many times Landon does a 180 on his takes on the podcast. And
Kind of 180. It's a straight line. My I don't flip flop. It's fine. I'm not gonna go into it. I'm not gonna take the bait like you said last week. That's fine.
well, anyways, yeah, we'll start a drinking game. We may put out like a newsletter. Hey, do you think you could write some articles for a newsletter?
Sure.
I mean, it's worth a try. Landon, you could write some
Wait, I'll
articles.
do that after I do the merch.
Okay.
Which we have merch. I gave you merch.
Where's
You
the
gave me some
Where's the
stickers. They're in the backpack. I'll start posting them around, giving out stickers. You
Mike
have
has
a
the
t-shirt.
merch.
You have a t-shirt machine in there, right in there.
I do.
I'm gonna start bringing stuff over and making some t-shirts.
Let's do it.
All right.
Is that a full propane tank right there?
That is full propane tank.
As you hold a cigar,
I mean, I'm not over there
I feel really safe
rubbing it up
now.
against it.
Remember, eventually we'll pan over to see Hayes' great grandfather in a kilt skirt.
Let's
Yeah,
go,
that was
Mike.
from like 1920, 20 something.
Hey, I got to shout out Mike. Take a shot every time Landon mentions Solomon's. I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh my god!
Just wait till we get to my favorite segment. We're actually going to give you an update. We polled all of our followers, and I'm really excited to
You know what?
share
You
the
know what?
results.
We've
from
gotten
that
off
poll.
to a rocky start, but why don't we just go to that right now?
Oh my gosh!
I still didn't update the slide, so it's still spelled wrong. But we're gonna go with the Solomon Skinny, as told by Landon. So Landon, Take it away.
So I figured I would take it upon myself to squash some
Do you
beef
have notes?
and just I've got the archive of the story. So
Okay.
I shot I shot a story out and said thoughts on the recent resurgence of Solomon, and left it up to our fans and our viewers, our listeners, the pod army, the still dripping army, the driplets. What do we call them?
The drop army.
The drip
Drip
army.
Drip.
And it was a pretty close race. I will be honest. And Solomon was winning at one point. Then I made Hayes aware of this poll, and he immediately went and voted collusion. And but I'm proud to say that Solomon won 58% to 42%. So that is
it updated?
Yes.
Has it changed since then?
No, because it was 24 hours and it went down. So we
Oh,
took
man,
it
that's
down
a
after
shame.
20 hours. We put it back up and it'll win again. And all I have to say is looking at the 42% that did vote for this, show me the results now. Those people knew nothing about shoes.
Mm.
That
Okay.
makes sense. Resurgence, were they ever a thing? So how do you call it a resurgence?
No, that's a good point. I did hear this week. I think they were. They used to be owned by Adidas.
Oh.
So I didn't know that, but
Cancel them. It's
Not-
fine.
I'm not sure I really care. But like I said, they're better than a lot of this stuff.
Mike, what's your take on Solomon?
Wait,
I
wait,
gotta
wait
know.
a second. Also,
Because he didn't vote. I'm calling you out, Mike. You didn't vote on the poll.
I would also like to know which, if anyone voted, including any of y'all, own a pair of Solomons. Because the answer is no. And so I don't know why I don't know why we have a segment.
Why would that discredit me from posting a poll about other people's takes? This podcast is about our fans. It's not about us. Okay, Hayes?
I would guarantee you, none of our 2,000 whatever followers, none of them own a pair of Solomons. I would bet.
That's a pretty strong take. Landon, you got to go find one now.
That's fine. We'll find one. Mike, I'll buy you a pair.
Just like you said
Mike has
that you
more
would
self-respect
you would
than
give
me.
him some shoes if he messaged you, and he did.
Forgot
Hold on,
about
Mike
that.
just said something.
Yep. He
Let's
says
go.
it's a good shoe.
What's that?
Mike
What's
says
that?
it's a
Wait a
good
second.
What's
shoe.
that?
Mike, that doesn't mean you own any. I mean, you could say it's a good shoe.
You can appreciate something that you don't own.
But we're talking about the resurgence of Solomon, like they're a great hype brand.
What? This isn't about hype. This is more than hype. Hayes just lives in the hype world. That's okay. Some of us choose greener pastures and greater expectations, but some of us take the road less traveled, and that's Hayes Holland.
You're so stupid.
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's. I think we should. It's probably time to jump inside the box.
What's inside the box?
That's my shoe in the box.
Bump. Where's the sound?
It's not on.
Oh,
Because you'd hear it through the mic. That's too much feedback.
That's a dang
We're
shame.
running a production here. All right.
That's a shame.
We've never done this before, so I also realized that the camera angle is not very good.
It's
Uh,
perfect. It's
kinda
got us
cutting
all.
our heads off a little
It's
bit.
just cutting Hayes' head off. That's fine.
That's all right.
That's fine.
I wish they could see the deer.
Do you want me to move? All right, I'll move it.
It's right behind.
Well,
me.
Hayes, why don't you give us a little update on what's coming out this week?
I mean, there's not crap coming out this week, guys. I'd sent Mason some slides, and to be honest with you, it was really just to be funny. It's mostly just to be funny. Now, January 17th, have you seen the Union Air Jordan knockout lows? The leathers? Bad radio, but we're on a podcast. And we're on YouTube.
You got to go in, zoom in.
Can you see it?
Can barely see it. Just describe it
Well,
for
they're
all our radio
beautiful.
listeners and our
These are absolutely beautiful.
YouTube listeners.
They're whitish, and they've got removable swoosh. I can't believe
Removable
you were
swoosh?
taking the time to look at Solomon's website.
No, I'm looking
Why
at
don't you be
up.
present.
We've got a new person joining, Dean Huffman.
Let's
Shout out
go.
Dean, sorry we do not
Respect,
have
Dean.
On Clouds in the docket this week, or any week. It's actually a negative
Ever.
part of the podcast. So
Yes.
if you want to join, if
We
you
wanna
want to
see your
join and
face.
defend your on cloud position, we would love for you to go to our Instagram story and click on the link there, and we'll let you into the show, and we can
Make an argument.
discuss on clouds. We'll actually do that.
You
This is
can
our
take the
100th
stand.
episode, so we're gonna do some crazy stuff. Here's the follow up to that. It's just a throw up emoji for Dean coming from Big Mike.
Okay, so anyway,
Anyways, go ahead.
Union Jordans, you're going to want to buy them. These are beautiful.
Those are garbage.
I saw a different
It's
pair
just-
of
it's a
Union,
white pair.
Union Jordan
These are
lows. The
dope.
darker pair, I thought those were a lot better. In
Look,
my
you
opinion.
can.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
mean, and
Eh.
from a reselling standpoint, these will be
Oh, yeah.
$500 by the summer.
Yeah, for resale, unions are gonna
You'll want to get.
they're gonna be
those.
easy.
These guys, the Tom Sachs Brown. Did you
Oh.
see these?
Rip to Cullen. Cullen has got one of those electric bikes and wrecked it. And he has a yellow pair of the Tom Sachs and put a hole in them. That's tough. It's
Mm.
tough.
But these are comment. We had some feedback. What's that dude's name? Matt Clark said that these look like the stock shoe for UPS.
Mm.
Yeah, it does look like a UPS.
It looks
shoe.
like a UPS shoe.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
we've
no.
got a guest that
Can you see
just
this?
hopped
Can you
on
see
the
this?
pod.
Oh,
Who's on
shoot. Who's on? TK? Let's go. Let's
man?
go. Yes. Who is pull up? T-Dog in the building.
What's up? I heard you. First thing I heard was you calling out Cullen wrecking on his bike.
Throw
That's
him right under the bus.
Impeccable timing. Impeccable
Or under
timing.
the bike. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome in.
Oh man.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
I will start off with apologizing because I never reached out to you on your Christmas ornament that I
Drop
have
the ball.
sitting on my desk. Just like Hayes dropped the merch. I
Hey
dropped
man,
the ball
that's
on
all
that.
right.
So,
Look at that back there.
oh, look at that.
Whoa!
I'm not too late. So I'm going to get you that ornament. I'm going to give it to Landon. That is perfect. I don't feel bad anymore.
Dude. New Christmas tree, by the way. Just got it
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, it can change lights, so I can buy time until like Mardi Gras at least.
So,
Why
Oh,
do you
yeah.
have your Christmas tree up?
He just told you it's a Mardi Gras tree.
It's almost February.
Valentine's Day. The lights change colors. I can do it all year.
Tyler's sitting on a couch that
Wow.
he listen to this. We got to share this picture on Instagram. He vacuums his couch and he does lines in it like a football field. It's incredible. Immaculate.
A
Do you
special
mow your
occasion.
yard like that too?
What's that?
Do you mow your yard like that too?
I don't mow my yard.
Can't hide money.
That is
Just like
that is
Landon.
one of the things that I hate doing. I don't do that.
That's fair.
I
That's
love
fair.
it. We talked about that last week. Our favorite.
Our favorite,
Our favorite
house chores.
chores.
Yeah. All right, Landon.
I'm taking it. I'm sharing it in the group chat. I'm trying to get
Landon.
Brandon and Cullen in here.
I need you to. I mean,
Oh man, where
Tyler, why don't we just start with acting like you're our guest for the whole podcast and tell us how you know Landon or a funny story about Landon.
Oh
and
god.
that would be a great start.
I mean, it's through sneakers. Landon, what I don't remember, when was the first time we actually met? What would that have been? What release
Was
was that?
Was it the Sean drop or was it after the Sean drop?
It might have been Sean. Like I
That's
don't
where we all linked up.
yeah, because I know well Cullen wasn't there for that one. Brandon was yeah, it would have had to have been that because you were at the Pigeon Dunk, but I wasn't at that. Were you at the Animal, the Atmos Animal Air Max one?
I missed that one.
Yeah.
But I think
So
at that
it had-
point we were in a group chat together. Like it was a bigger group chat.
What
Yeah,
year would
so-
this been about?
Like 16, 17?
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
Which that's wild. I thought about that the other day, how long our group chat's been going on. It's
Yeah,
literally
it
the most
is.
consistent thing in my life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I checked my my like phone storage the other day to check like which of my messages were like logging or like hogging up all my space, and the sneaker chat was just so far above everything else because it had gone on for so long.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess it would have had to have been the Sean release, which was a long time to spend with anybody.
Well, you were there. I think probably one of the last times you were at the camp where it rained the whole time. Was that the Court Purple? I forget what drop that was.
No,
we were all
that,
under that tarp.
was that when we wasted all of our time on that the high fashion Jordan one?
That's right.
Was that
Couture?
Couture.
Oh,
I hit those on
red.
sneakers and then
Yeah,
took
me
them back
too.
to
So
the Nike
bad.
They
store.
were terrible.
Do you remember we went into Rooted like right before it closed to check them out until we were like, oh yeah, like but in the back of our heads we're like, oh no, this is
Well,
bad.
those are like almost patent leather. They're so.
Yeah.
I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah, that was not a good shoe.
Not a good look.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah,
all
it was-
flipped. We all made money before the market.
Yeah, we did
Wow.
our job. Not a lot of money, but we made money.
Yeah, Tyler, outside of my wife, I think you and the group, I've spent more nights sleeping together with y'all on the street than I have my wife. And I miss those days. It hasn't been the same since COVID.
Yeah. I don't know that we'll ever do that again, honestly. At this point, like with the way the market is, it would have to be like it would have to die all the way down and then come back up, and then I'd have to have the energy to do that. I'm considerably older than everybody in the sneaker world, so sidewalks aren't my thing anymore. I just turned 38 in December.
I would have guessed you were a lot younger than that.
For sure.
Age is just a
Done it
mindset. Ask Hayes. He's old as
I'm
crap.
42. I'm the oldest of everybody.
hard.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, it's not often that I'm not the oldest one. So congratulations to you.
Well, so that's a good question to ask, Tyler. What would it take to get you out of sneaker camping retirement? Like what shoe? Whether it's a retro or
Well, man, if I knew that, I would. I'd be on the marketing team. No, I'd probably. I'm trying to think of like what's.
it'd be
what
an Air
about
Max
one?
1, right?
Yeah. I think maybe like a re-release of some of the like the early Pata and Para Air Max ones could do it. Like a re-release of Cherry Woods, or I forget what the other Pata Para one is called that has like all the different like maroon shades on it.
Is it that one? I think it's this one right here. This one right here.
No, not that one. That is sick though. Landon showed us that custom.
Shout out to
No.
Nashville Man.
Shout out to the national.
Yeah. I'd do it for a re-release of the Red Octobers just because of,
Yeah.
Mm.
what
Oh
you know,
man. Yes.
like that's an echelon that I'm never gonna feel irresponsible enough to spend that much money. Yeah, I guess that's about it really. Just those things that have reached a level of unattainability. Maybe if I got the chance to get them again, I would.
So I want to hear your perception because for your perspective, I shared this episodes ago. Remember the camp where the cops ran by looking for a
was gonna
guy
ask
with
this
a
question.
knife? Do you remember that?
Yeah. And nobody moved. Nobody moved from the
No.
line. We all just pointed and we're like, yeah, he was that way. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah. And that was I think that was the drop where I shamed that kid from Knoxville. He was just like some high school kid, and I just laid into him about something. I forget what it was. He talked the whole night, and it legit hurt his feelings. I called him out.
No,
in
that
the-
was the same. That was the Couture release. That kid was incredibly annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we never saw him again.
I can visualize that kid. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
All right. So what are you sitting on right now? What is in your closet that we would just go, holy crap?
I gotta get.
Oh no! Oh, he's gonna go to the closet. Ah! Let's go.
I don't know if you've heard this while you're on the way to the closet, but Landon has a closet in his basement that he, I think, has some of your shoes, some Witherspoons for you in there.
What?
Is that right? I thought the cats got into this closet that you were.
What?
selling Tyler some shoes from?
I think I was selling him some shoes. The cats didn't get in the closet, but Tyler will
Oh,
back me
never
because
mind.
Tyler has cats. He's a
Okay.
cat guy.
My cats don't fuck up anything though. Let's see. Can you turn the camera? You can't turn the camera on this thing. So. I mean, the one that everybody loses their mind over is this one.
Let's
That's
go.
the-
Let's go.
That's the one that everybody flips out over. The top 2.0.
Okay.
Are those
Um,
dead stock or you wear? No, you wear those.
no, I wear these.
I
Yeah,
was gonna say.
Those are so dope.
They look
Okay.
clean.
yeah. No, so I got those. That's the weirdest transaction I've ever had. I traded some guy from Band LA 10 pair of dead stock Jordans straight up for
My
those.
God.
Because to him it was purely a numbers game to him. And so like I only had retail in my Jordans, and it was easier for him to flip those 10 pair than it was to flip this one pair. And so I traded him at whatever StockX number was at the time, and then got those in return. And they had OGL like box, all the inserts, everything with them. So yeah, that's the cream of the crop right there. I mean, there's a lot,
It's all the way
but like there's a lot, but that's like I don't have a lot of the like heat pieces or the hype pieces that people will talk about. I mean, if you look, it's like, you know, Air Max, 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 and then you get down to some like other stuff like some Saucony's, some Asics, Diadora.
You wear all these. I mean, you don't. You wear your sneakers.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I mean, I've got some pairs that like I haven't worn yet. Like I've got the denim Air Max one from that like release where it was I think there was a 90, a 1, and maybe a 95. I haven't worn those yet, but that's more just because there's a lot to wear. And I work from home, so like I'm just here all the time. And then there's a few more in here. Like they kind of they just keep on going.
Next level. Wait, you have court purples?
Yeah, I've got purples. Yeah, I don't know if this is 1.0 or 2.0. I'm bad at remembering all that stuff.
That's 2.0.
Yeah, 2.0.
But we camped for the 1.0, the black toes.
Did we?
I did. I think.
I don't
I got an
remember
8.
that one.
That's when I was getting 8s and 8.5s. I wasn't getting my
Yeah.
shots.
That's when everybody would hit the door looking at StockX and be like, I want this size.
Yep. Yeah, Ray's standing at the door with his notepad. What size?
Yeah, everybody's trying to make it like nonchalant, like, oh, what am I just this is for my cousin or whatever. Like, no, they're not. We all know.
Make you wear them out of the store.
I never did that.
Do you remember that time that bodyguard he's that big dude used to play for the University of Tennessee, I think. He rolled up like 5 minutes before doors open,
John Henderson.
trying to act like he was at the front of the
Was it
line.
John Henderson.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't remember his name, but it was.
See, football or basketball player?
I think it was football. I wasn't going to say anything to him. Nobody's going to say anything to him. He
You're
just.
talking about when he was working security or
No, this was after.
no? No, I don't.
Oh,
I remember like a few of the campouts, but that's about it.
Remember the Sean release when the bro shows up that morning, and we'd been there for not quite 24 hours, but just about. And he was like, "Hey, I don't want the Sean. I want to get something else. Like, just let me in the store."
Oh yeah, I do remember this.
And they let him in.
Yeah.
And they literally were pulling his size in the Sean's, and we all started
Oh,
yelling,
my
like, "Are you
goodness.
joking?"
But they took him away from him. They
They did.
when
They did. Shout
they
Ray.
found out that he wasn't he didn't
Legit.
do the work, they took him away. So I can respect that.
Yeah.
That was also the camp where some guy paid off 2 homeless people to sit in line.
I remember
And
that
they
story.
literally, this blacked out Infinity rolls up with a bag of money. They take the money and they leave. And the guy comes back and he's like, "Where do those guys go?" I'm like, I don't know.
No, so they were so that one of those homeless guys, if I remember correctly, was in between me and Brandon. I think it was Brandon, homeless guy, me. And and when it was pointed out to the homeless guys like how long they were like gonna have to quote work, they were like, absolutely not. And they just left.
And then they bolted.
They were like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And so that guy rolled up the next morning and was like, where are those guys? And we're like, yeah, we told them to leave.
That's so stupid.
You remember the college kid? He went to Lipscomb that would roll up with all his friends that knew nothing about sneakers, and they were always the first in line, and he always rolled at least 6 deep. He was at the Sean release and ended up with like
he was number 1.
Yeah.
He was the first kid in line. They only had like 8 or 10 hats or something like that. Nature, and he and his hooligans or whatever bought all the hats, and then they left the store and they were trying to sell them in front of the store.
Yep.
With everybody there. And Jamie came out and was like, what are you doing? Like, don't do that here. Like, do it somewhere else. Like, I know what you're doing, but just don't do it here, man. Don't be an idiot. They did always look out for the people that camped. Like, the camping got kind of unruly towards the end, which is why they don't have any more of them. But
Travis Scott release.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end right there.
Yeah, 100%. Guys literally hiding in the bushes. Like, I'd see guys like.
Yeah, I think that was the first one that people came from like out of town to camp for it. Like
that's what messed up when people came from out of town, for sure.
Like a large number of people. Like, of course, like 1 or 2 would come periodically, but that was the first time where it was like, oh, like this section is from Memphis or whatever.
Yeah.
And that camp would have went fine if they had just reversed the order of their activities. They had the party first, and then they were like, okay, everybody go home, and then you can come get back in line at 9 o'clock. And of course, nobody went home. So we
went across the street, which was really safe, right? They said you had to go on the other sidewalk.
Go get some coffee over there at the Orange Cafe.
And so everybody just lined up at the closest place to the limit that they gave them. And it was funny, you could see every group kind of inch up every like couple of minutes. But at a certain point, they were like, yeah, this is going to get bad. So they just canceled the whole thing.
You won something big that night, though, right? They did that raffle. Did you have to pick something off the wall?
That night. I don't know what was on. I didn't win the Travises. But yeah, that was when they had like, how did you get tickets? Did you have to buy something to get? Yeah, they were having a sale, and for every like X amount of dollars or something you bought, you got a ticket for their like lottery system. And before the party was over, they'd call a number, you'd go pick a black box off the wall, and in that black box was something. Sometimes it was a $5 off thing, sometimes it was a $50 gift card, there were some shoes, and then I think one of them was like a free pair of Travis 4s. I think that's what the grand prize was. And yeah, at that party, they were like bringing stuff out of the back that had just been sitting there for a while. And this was before the Homage to Home ones like went to whatever number they're out now. And they just brought out a few pairs of them. And so I bought every single one of them. When I was taking them to the car, I sold them on StockX.
Oh my goodness.
I came back in and like finished it out. So by the time the drawing turn got there, I had like, I don't know, 5 or 10 like entry tickets or something. And I think I got called 4 times.
Oh,
I got I got some kind of like a Don C Air Force One, which again sold on the way to the car, and then a couple of other like gift card things or something like that. Never got the Travis's. I didn't even win on the raffle system for whatever they did.
I had to go buy those myself.
Well, shout out to Rooted. We're putting you on notice, Rooted. Do more crazy events. Just let it ride. We need more events.
You sparked a question that I had that I've heard and seen a lot of discussion about. This is just sneakers in general. What do you feel like, or how do you feel about mystery boxes like at the sneaker con and stuff like that? What do you think about that?
Well, everything I've seen is that it's robbery.
Yeah.
I think that there's one, like they shouldn't be doing them anyway. Like there's a no gambling policy at these events. This is inherently gambling. Like you can't there's no two ways around that. But also like, I don't have a problem doing the mystery boxes if you're being honest about the value of them. Like,
Right.
You're going to sell a $300. Let's use the examples that they're giving. You're going to sell a $300 mystery box. I get that there are going to be some mystery boxes that have higher value things in them. That's part of the appeal of it. But you can't put things that are so obviously under that value that it becomes like a loss. Like put a sneaker in there. Sure, fine. Call it a $200 sneaker. But then put an additional $100 worth of something else in there so that these people are at least getting like their value out of it. And it doesn't help that most of the people buying these mystery boxes, at least in the videos I've seen, are kids. And so I feel weird about that. It feels like it's taking advantage of it, but also like, they're young, affluent white kids with $300 to throw around. So they probably don't miss it that much. So
That explains why Hayes bought that mystery box on the internet one time and got a fake Supreme money gun. Do you remember that?
I'm an affluent, rich white kid.
That was probably some other kid's mystery box.
Wait a
He was
second.
like,
That was 'cause I was
this
like,
is cute.
I was 30. I was probably 38. I was just a moron.
I was egging him on, so I take some responsibility for that. That's fine.
That
That's
was at the
fine.
beginning of the Supreme wave when it started to get really big, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna get a come up here." Nope.
We were
I
pumped
think
though when you hit it. Like
You
you're like,
were
wow.
stunting at church camp with that Supreme money gun.
What happened to that money gun?
Probably disintegrated.
Something happened to that money gun, and I don't remember. It was a good story. I forgot.
Mm.
And I also bought some Golden Goose. I did.
You did buy
That's
some
true.
Golden Goose.
That was when I was on that roll of. Yeah, we've all been on those
Gucci
rolls.
sneakers. and-
Gucci's.
Tyler, this is the question of the night. What's your take on Solomon?
Yes.
The deep
Sigh.
sigh.
Well, no, because I'm trying to think. I don't know that I
Would ever wear
don't-
them or care?
don't know that I have an opinion on them. I try to pair. I do like some of the ones that I've seen at Rooted. I say some of them. I like one of them that I've seen at Rooted, just from a color palette perspective.
So not that I want to buy them tomorrow.
No,
and
no, no,
rock
no,
them.
no. Let the man speak. Let the man speak.
But
I
like,
value this
can't-
man's opinion more than
I can't
most,
speak to like
so.
when it comes down to it. Like to me, it is more of a utility shoe than a fashion shoe, and I know that that line is being blurred right now with the way that everything's going fashion wise. And I do know people that are like ultra athletes, so they run like the huge marathons or whatever, and those dudes swear by Solomon,
makes
whatever it
sense.
is.
That makes total sense.
But I don't have any. I don't have any. I tried some on at the Benz sale. They were snug as hell. So I ended up passing on them. But I think if you got the right fit, you can make it work. I just don't have. I don't have the right fits, nor do I run ultra marathons.
Fair. Okay, what about On Clouds?
Oh gosh.
I fucking hate those.
Yes. Yes.
That's 100.
No, that is that is the shoe of every other dad on my daughter's soccer team.
Yes. Keep it
that adds up.
So I actually have tried those. I tried those to work out in, and this was back when they first came out. I don't know how many different product lines they've got right now, but I was working out in Cool Springs, and of course everybody there is like, you got to get the On Clouds, you got to get the On Clouds, and I was like, okay, I'll get the On Clouds. Yeah, and I got them, and I think I wore them through 2 workouts, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
You have more self-respect than that.
Yeah, I do. But they're not good for like lateral movement, and I was using them just to work out. This was not a fashion thing at all. It was just like to work out, and you couldn't go laterally in them. You just kind of like roll off the side every single time. And I don't care for them. I will say that some of the ones that Rooted has right now, they don't look terrible. Like it's obvious that somebody's put some more thought into it than black shoe, white midsole. Like, because that's what you see. That's what you see on the soccer fields on Saturday morning. That's like that's the shoe you see.
But that's my fear, is that those will get in the hands of the people that don't appreciate, and then they get credit for thinking that there's more thought that went into the shoe, when it's like they just don't deserve it. It's just
you think the people that wear On Clouds are going to see the higher fashion ones and like get some kind of undeserved credit.
Like Solomon.
Well, see, the On Cloud is not a shoe that you purchase yourself. It's a shoe that your wife purchases for you, right? So maybe she has a good well, it's not good taste because she buys On Cloud.
Yeah,
but it's the kids or the wives that are trying to make their dads cool at an affordable rate, and they've seen them in the soccer fields, and they're like, okay.
I guess it's a matter of perspective. Like let's take like just the On Cloud piece and say like, these dads, they've got on their light blue button up. They've got on their dark blue slight puffer vest. They've got on their jeans that fit perfectly, and they're On Clouds. Like that's their fit, right? Like we all know it.
That's not a fit. Yeah, that's a uniform.
It's the Williamson County uniform.
The Wilco uniform for sure.
Yeah. So you can look at it from an optimistic perspective and say, okay, On Cloud's taken another step, and they're going to introduce a world of fashion that these people would never see. Like, because they're taking a step into, let's say, high fashion or streetwear, whatever you want to call it. Streetwear is a weird term nowadays. Maybe that is an introduction to them, and it says, hey, maybe I don't need to just be a pawn. There's a little bit more to this. That 99% of the time, that's not going to be the case. Like, I'd like to be optimistic, but I'm also a realist. And I don't think that's going to be the case. I think more often than not, it's going to be what Landon just stated. But I try to be a little bit.
And it's the athleisure market, right? When have you ever seen a beat pair of On Clouds? They're always in pristine condition, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Ain't no dirt on those.
I try to generally, I have more self-respect than to purchase a pair of shoes that you can get off of Amazon.
You get them on Amazon.
For sure.
That goes for all dudes or all birds.
Hey
dudes, and
yeah. Give me your take on Hey Dudes. Keep it
that's
coming,
the
Tyler.
same thing.
Well,
what about
it's
Crocs?
No, that's a different market.
No. What about Crocs as a fashion item?
Oh, here we go. Dang it, Tyler! You're on a roll.
So I'll take a step back first. Hey Dudes are worse than On Clouds. I
Amazon.
And those things. They are the shoe of everybody in Northwest Tennessee, where my wife's family uses. Every male person, no matter the age, has a pair of those things. and I hate them. I hate them with a passion.
Tyler, do you remember my take on Hey Dudes in the group chat? I just receipts. So this is so I call it's Vape Bros. I said they're addicted to video games. They most likely dropped out of college with a semester left. They drive a blacked out Tacoma with Punisher logo or a Star Wars Empire sticker on it. They're unkempt neck beards. Probably have dirty fingernails, but not from hard labor, but just because they haven't bathed themselves. And they most likely grew up in a healthy family dynamic in the suburbs, but decided just to forget about good choices.
I bet you the Venn diagram of the guys that wear On Clouds to the soccer field and Hey Dudes that evening is a perfect circle.
Yes. Yes.
They are one and the
All right,
same.
go back to Crocs. Go back to Crocs, especially Crocs as a fashion thing.
So
And these collabs and
So the only Croc that I have any respect for is the one that Salehi Bembury put out. That is like his thumbprint. I can show you that one because it's the only one that I have. This guy here, where it's got the
Look how quick. They're always close. They're always by his side. They're in sport
got the-
mode,
got
ready to
the-
go.
it's got the thumbprint, like that's his true fingerprint. That's part of the design. Because this, break out my Cullen for a second, there's a story behind that, right? Like it's a unique take on something pretty standard. The idea of Crocs in general as fashion, I can't do that. I can't get behind that. Because it
nor should you.
yeah, they're just bad. Like even the high fashion ones that, some of those like designer brands that come out with where they put it on a platform or a heel or whatever, like it's very obvious, like it's objectively bad. It doesn't look good. And it's almost like the joke has gone too far and people are just like leaning into the joke.
I think you got your hand on the mic, Tyler.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there
Yes.
you go.
Yeah, they're
I
just
got
like they've the high fashion ones where they're just leaning into the joke too much and like see if people will picture this.
Exist.
Yeah, they are comfortable. I will give them that. They are comfortable, but I just can't get
Hey,
behind.
speaking of comfort, Hayes loves Air Monarchs. He's a big dad shoe guy.
I will say I've been on the record in saying that Crocs serve a purpose, and I think the only purpose I have for them would be to mow the yard in. They're great because if
Well, go to
anything
the
gets
lake.
in them,
No,
Go to
'cause
the
you'll
lake. You got
slip.
traction.
You'll hurt yourself.
Not to
No,
the lake.
I've worn my mom's pair of Crocs in the lake, and they did prevent things from penetrating the bottom of my foot.
Oh, a nail could go right through those.
That's why you get water shoes.
Landon.
For real.
Tyler knows all about my love for water shoes. Let's go. They give me
We
so
have
much.
an ongoing debate about water shoes and shoes that are okay in the water. It's and they're not the same thing.
There's a line. There's a line there for
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, they have their uses. Like I have never in my life put together an outfit that revolved around those things. Never have, never will. That is what I put on if I'm like, all right, I got to go pick up my kid from school, or I got to go run I got to go pick up one thing from the grocery store, something like that. Like it's a quick and easy thing. And I took that step up because I didn't want to be part of the crowd that had just the regular one.
All right, I'm gonna put a plug in there.
Hold on, I gotta flash
go
this comment up here. Everybody knows that Crocs are strictly camp shower shoes. That is a great take from Bodie Wynn. Thank you, Mr. Leaky Faucet.
There's a problem if there's a shoe that you can clean while you clean yourself.
Yeah. That's definitely a no-go.
Okay, so this is an invitation for you guys to come and watch any game at any Saturday in McGavick High School with the Nashville Youth Basketball Association, because
Why would you not just say NSL?
NYBA is what's called.
Oh, okay.
And you can tell, because I do this now as well. I mean, I've always been this. We're all in the same world. How caught up these people got. I mean, they put their outfit together the night before. They looked at the weather and they said, "Oh, this is the day I'm breaking out my band ones. This is the day I'm breaking out my bread fours." Like they have, and there are models of shoes that come out every weekend at the NYBA games. You guys got it. It's the exact opposite of what you're talking about your daughter's soccer.
Oh, it's not million.
It's not it's McGavick High School. It's at McGavick High School. And I'm like, every Friday night,
So
I'm
you
like,
do
all
that
right,
too?
what is it gonna be? What
Yeah.
what am I gonna
Good.
what am I gonna bust out that people are gonna be like, I don't believe that guy brought those out. Every week. You would love it.
Where's McGavick again? Is that on my side? Is that east side? Is that on my side of town?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Reese plays them in soccer, and I've seen some of them on the sidelines. Very different audience than the basketball games, but
Now, what I'm tired of is, I mean, you'd thought everybody had a plug for the pandas. So many freaking
See
pandas.
pandas every day.
So bad.
Pandas
so
in
bad.
the wild.
It killed the dunk. It dunked.
but
for
it's
this
all
generation.
it's always going to be something, right? Like there's always going to be a panda. There's always going to be a Roshi. There's always going to be the Adidas Superstar. Like there's always going to be the one that catches on. Like that's
We get like every
that's what
every
those bring.
3 years we get one of those, right?
Yeah, that's what they
Air
want.
Max
Like that's
70. Yeah.
yeah, that's what
You're right.
Nike wants to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't really fault it too much. I mean, think about like what those shoes have been in the past. Like the Panda's the best looking one of the ones it's been in the past. So, maybe we're evolving. I don't know.
You didn't like the Roshi? Is that what you're saying?
Roshi wasn't my thing really. It was fine and it was, novel at the time, but it was I don't know. I just didn't care for it that much. It was never really my thing.
It's a basic silhouette.
Yeah.
Yeah, basic is. I think the Roshi, you got a lot more people into sneakers than before, or maybe
Yeah,
it was
that's
just the
true.
timing.
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, it was basic enough to where Kanye just melted it and called it a completely different shoe. So
Yeah.
it worked on a couple of levels.
Fair.
You
Yeah,
think-
that's true.
Do you think OnCloud will pick up Kanye? I know he's on the market right now.
They need
so could you imagine?
Oof. he's got presidency to claim, so he's gonna be.
I think he'd be better served jumping over to Shaq. I think
Shaq
he'd have more
only-
credibility if he jumped into Shaq.
Yeah,
That'd be good. Boo-boo.
Shaq wouldn't have him.
Yeah, they're at Walmart too.
Yeah,
Puma?
Shaq's sneaker story is really interesting. How he intentionally puts them at Walmart because he wants them to be affordable. Shaq's a good dude. I love every Shaq story I hear.
Fair.
It's like the Starberries, right?
Dan, our fourth member of the podcast, he rocked some Starberries back in the day,
1999 at
the dark ages, man.
What was that store?
Stephen Barry.
Stephen Barry's, man.
Stephen Barry's.
Stephen Barry's and Hickory Hollow.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the things that we used to wear. That would be
Yikes.
that'd be an embarrassing time.
Mason's got on some black cement threes right this second. Did you wear those to work today?
I work from home today,
You
so
work from
no.
home today.
I can't wear sneakers at work.
Yeah,
And
but
on Fridays I'm not supposed to, but I do.
Okay.
But on other days I do not. I don't want to push the envelope.
Tyler got in trouble. You got a notice about your shoes when you were working in the office, remember?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I So I'm full-time work from home now, but when I was going into the office, I worked for Bridgestone Rubber. And we moved into that fancy new tower downtown, and they had a quote dress for your day policy, which you meant, if you have meetings with high ups, you dress nicer. If you don't, you can dress more business casual. I've never ever met with anybody like that. That is not in my job description. It's not something I'm ever going to encounter. And so like my uniform was like a short sleeve button up, black jeans, and then I just rotated sneakers. Like that was it. And the only thing that was on their rules that you couldn't wear was sneakers. And I got told that by my boss one time because it was just assumed that I didn't know. And I was like, oh no, I know. I'm just not going to do that. Like, it's like, I've got feet problems. Like I have to wear like not custom, but like special orthotics in every shoe. That's like one of the things that like I don't like about sneakers, or I do and I don't at the same time. Like I can't just try a pair on and know it's going to fit. I've got to be able to take out the insert, put mine in, and then try it on and see if it fits. And you can't do that with dress shoes. Like you can't pull out the insert on dress shoes. And I was like, yeah, this is the health excuse that I'm going to use. But just know that I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be in sneakers every day. The compromise was that I kept a pair of boots at my desk. And so if I did get called somewhere with enough notice, I could change into those.
Oh my gosh.
One time I felt like a baller rolling up to Bridgestone, the main lobby, and like this is, it's a massive building. They got security. You go to the big front desk. I'm like, I'm here to see Tyler King. And he comes up. It was the Adapt BB, the self-lacing shoes, this massive box. And I started to walk out, and the guy behind the counter is like, bro, what are those? Can I check it out?
Yeah, we had to give him a little demo right there in the lobby. I forget. Why did I get those? Why did I get those from you?
I have no idea why you got those in that size. Because it was, I think I asked everybody to go for them for me. Maybe.
Was I getting? Oh, I was getting them for you. It wasn't vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I still got them. I bought them.
Seriously?
Yeah. I bought them.
We need to start
Are you
playing basketball
serious?
again.
It's a performance shoe. It's awesome.
Marty McFly over here.
Let's go.
I don't think I could pull those off.
Yeah, I don't know. Especially those first ones.
Yeah.
The Adapt one.
Yeah.
All right, what's next? What's something that you have to get, like that's on the list?
Well, frustratingly, I ordered the Asics and Jound collaboration, the Gel Kayano 14.
Sneakerhead. Yeah.
I ordered those from eBay last night, and this morning got a 10% off promo code for any shoe over $100. And I asked them if they could like retroactively apply it, and they said no, but we'll give you an eBay credit for 10% of the cost.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, so you're telling me that I just have to go buy something else at this point? So we'll see if I do that or not. But that's really the only thing that I've got that I'm like on the lookout for. I liked the simpleness of those. And I don't really have anything in that world right now. You can hear Virgil yelling at me right now.
Virgil.
Hey, take a drink. That's a cat on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as like new releases, there's nothing on my radar. I'm always on the lookout for what a Mom and Year does, but they've done 1 through 4 now, and I don't really wear any Jordans outside of that range. Yeah. So, if they were to pivot and do like something in the Air Max world, I would be all about that. Oh no, wait, I'm completely lying. The Big Bubble Air Max 1 OG, like that's a multiple pair thing for me. That is my shoe. I'll definitely be getting a couple of those.
I was going to bring that up later. I saw the first pictures of those, and the bubble did not look as big as I thought it looked when they talked about it on Nike Talk like a year ago.
Yeah.
Right? Did you think the same?
I don't think I've seen anything recently as far as like an updated picture or anything of that nature. But
think I saw one yesterday, but it might have been like a GS pair.
Yeah, now I did see an image of like a toddler pair that looks
Okay.
like really wonky, but I was like, well, that's a toddler pair. Of course, it's
Yeah.
going to look wonky. And I'm also not sure how much of like the bubble sizing is going this way as opposed to this
Yeah.
way. Yeah. So I know they'll add the fourth hole, like that you can see through. But I don't know how much thicker they're going to make it, if it's going to be discernible or not. I hope so. I hope it's as big as they can make it. I mean, I feel like they're going to be pretty true to the original sizing of the bubble, just because I remember on that Nike talk, the research that they talked about putting into it and everything. And I mean, some of the stuff that we walk around on now, like the 270, the 720, like whatever some of these concepts are, they can make the bubble sturdy enough to withstand it now. Like the technology is there, so there's not really a reason not to be true to the past from that respect. So I'm excited about that. They're going to do it in at least the original red and the blue. I love the blue in both of my releases from 2017. Is that the last time they did that? Both of those are near beater status at this point. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see what they do with the reimagined series that they're apparently doing. Because I thought they did a good job on the Chicago's. So I'm interested to see that go into effect.
I'm sorry. I thought there might have been a critter in here.
I'd like to see
Don't worry about
I'd like to
Hayes.
see reimagined on a few other styles too. Like I'd like to see them do reimaginings of older runners, not just Jordans. Like, because I've got a book of old Air Max 1s, and just flipping through that, there's some like really, really cool stuff in it that would look really good as a distressed pair.
I mean, there's some precedent for that too, right? Excuse me. Like with the crepe hemp that came out, those weren't the exact carbon copies.
Yeah.
I guess the bacons were somewhat like similar to that.
Dude, the bacon's tanked.
I feel like they didn't tell the story as good as they could have.
Well, they did because they didn't give credit to the guy that designed them.
Yeah. Was it that they didn't or that they couldn't? For some reason, I want to say that like Nike couldn't use the original like name that was associated with the bacons, and so that's why it was released the way that it was.
Yeah. Rip Hermitage Cafe. I got 2 meals there to get, because Ruta did the thing where you get a meal, get a ticket, and I doubled up on those, and they're still in my closet, and they're going for way under retail. Yeah. It's a good looking shoe though.
It's a good shoe. Like if you take out any like value consideration of it, it's a really, really good shoe. That's why that's why the first one was so desirable, because it was a good shoe.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Any more questions?
We're gonna do a top 5.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we got T-Dog on here. We need to do a top 5.
All right, let's hit the top 5 music.
Got it good.
I mean, the Mars Yard is my number one. That was my grail. I got lucky and found it. That's a great one. I love the Sean. I think the Sean is a really good shoe. It's one of the few that I feel like was deserving of all the hype that it got.
You mean the Oswego's, the new ones?
Do what?
I said, you mean the Oswego's, the new ones?
Like all the Adidas.
I'm
ones,
kidding.
right?
I'm kidding.
Absolutely
I'm
not.
kidding.
No, his latest pair is like, that's fire. That's a good silhouette.
I wouldn't call it fire.
It's
better.
Listen,
It's trolling.
It's the best he's done in a long time.
I'm sorry, I
It's
interrupted
saying
you,
a
Tyler. Keep going.
Yeah, it's the best
kidding.
he's done in a while, but it's pretty easy to jump over a bar that's laying on the ground. You know, like it's his
And Landon
his
would know
quality.
he's got all of them.
Those are right up Landon's alley. I know that. That's why I say stuff like that.
Tyler knows. He knows what's up.
Yeah, the Marjard, the Sean. Again, the original Air Max, red or blue, interchangeable for me. I think I kind of lean towards blue mostly when I'm putting stuff on, but either one of them. And then let's see, the Chicago one, just because of the history and how classic it is. And then, I mean, the next thing that comes to mind is the Black Cement 3. Like that's just a solid shoe that, you know, goes with everything. It's comfortable. It's got the story to it. And if I branch out a little bit and I give an honorable mention, I love my Asics Gel Light 3 Salmon Toes. I love that shoe.
Shout out Ronnie.
Yeah. Buckets.
Love him, but you hate him.
Well, this is my last question, and I just thought of it because of you said the salmon toes. I am known on this podcast that I only have Nike and Jordan. So if you seem like you have a pretty well-rounded collection. Obviously, it seemed like you were heavy on Nike, but most people are. If I was to break the seal and go with another sneaker outside of the Nike Jordan family, what sneaker should be the one to break the seal for me?
If you want stuff that's being released now that looks good, then probably Diadora. Not every, let's not speak in absolutes. Diadora collabs are usually top notch because they are inherently higher quality. They are all really, really good, and they are so comfortable. If you want to go backwards and like trace down some pairs from long ago, then maybe Asics. Like that's like those early Ronnie ones are very, very good. But early Diadoras are also good. There's just not as many of them. Every Asics that Ronnie put out at the beginning was just unreal good.
That's where I've been leaning. Asics are definitely on top of the leaderboard at the moment. So,
Are you on the New Balance train at all?
I am. Yeah. I've got quite a few of them at this point. They are very comfortable. They know what they're doing from that respect. The sizing is just weird. Like, I don't feel like I wear the same size in any model. Like I wear an 11 in one model. I wear an 11 and a half in a different model. I've tried on a 10 and a half and like, I could make this work. Like it's very, very weird and inconsistent. And that just kind of bugs me. So every time there's a release, I'm like, well, you know, maybe I'll get lucky and like find a couple of them around in my size that I can try on and then see if they fit and go that route. It's just a lot of trouble. But I think that's going to die off pretty quickly too. I think the New Balance thing is very, very quickly becoming too saturated. So I think that I don't think that's going to last too terribly long.
Wisdom.
Peaceful.
I don't know about that.
This is flown by. That was, like I said, that was my last question. Either of y'all got any more questions?
I'll just say this was actually an interview, Tyler, just to replace me because and you passed with flying colors. So thank you. I'm passing the baton.
Yeah, man. Happy to jump on it. Sorry I couldn't make it the last time. I was I forget what I was doing that time, so I wanted to make sure that I hopped on this time.
Oh, you're so kind.
Let's go.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate it.
that.
Hey, shout out your Instagram so people can look you up. And dude, I appreciate the fit pics that you're doing.
I was about to say that too.
It's
I like
killing
those.
it.
Yeah. My Instagram is impossible to shout out. Like it's like the name is not something that you can just say. Like it's, you know, it's Tyler Kang, and then they're like, what does that mean? Like, what's my name? But it's 5 A's. But your name is King. Yeah, but A's make the sound. It's impossible. So yeah.
Tyler Kang, 5 A's and NG.
Yep.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
But
Landon's got it. Yeah, he can
He can pass it along. But yeah, I've been trying to hold myself accountable for all the clothes I have, and working from home. Like why do I have these clothes if I'm not going to wear them? So I've been trying to do a little bit better. Like what I wore tonight was just to go to Costco. That's all I did.
That's a fire fit for
Fire
Costco.
fit.
You definitely have to be the best looking.
Like I said, I gotta justify these purchases somehow.
Oh, and you have the hip.
That's I didn't
Oh,
even.
dude, I love
hadn't
those
even seen
shoes.
that
Those are
one
my
yet.
favorites.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's that, and that's one of those where like I'm tracing back and like getting things that I couldn't get, and like finding a decent condition pair of those is near impossible. And then you got to pay to have it sole swapped, and then you got to do this and do this. And I was like, these look close enough. Like I don't care that much to go back and do it. So, which is why I hope Cherrywood's re-released.
All right.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. This was
Yeah,
fun.
thank
And
you so much
anytime
for
you want
coming
to come
on.
back.
Yep.
Oh,
All right, man. I'll talk to y'all next.
Hit us up. Thanks, Tyler.
All right, man.
Peace.
Man.
See y'all.
Man, we should see if he wants to rap.
Oh yeah. Well, we got plenty of. This is 100th episode. I think we can ignore the happy hour. We still got 3 live listeners.
We got up to 5.
We got up to 5 at one point. I'm not sure
What
who's
y'all
still
doing
there.
with your lives?
We're at 4 now.
What?
So
Let's just keep going.
let's
Let's just keep going.
Bodie's still here, I'm sure. Dean said he had to go to bed. He missed Tyler going in on clouds. I texted him right when he said, and so hopefully he'll watch that back. But Dean said he would love to hop on. He said he was shirtless in his bed, so he didn't feel like it was appropriate for him to log on and defend his on clouds, but he wants to.
It's
wants to.
2023 and nothing's inappropriate anymore.
Yeah, Hayes wore a dress on the podcast. We'd much rather see him shirtless than,
I forgot
than
about
this.
the
Luckily
dress.
for you, that was not on YouTube.
Oh man, I forgot about the dress.
Hey,
So-
to our 3 watchers, hit us up with a fire round of like questions. Just hit us and
Oh, okay.
we'll
some
answer
rapid
all of your
fire.
questions.
I have some rapid fire as well. We can mix in while we're waiting on that. So first rapid fire. This is a completely random. I just had this thought, and I heard a podcast ask a similar question too. So similar to the Olympics that come around only every 4 years, what else should only come around every 4 years? And I'll give
Joe
the best
Biden.
answer that I heard. It was a different time frame, but award shows was the answer that I heard. So movies, like 1 year is just not complete enough to judge what the best songs were, what the best movies were, anything like that. So I would say award shows would be my answer, and I'll try to think of something else since I stole that one. But and drop your answers in the chat if you're still listening to us. Make a banner. Time's a waste in here. We can't cut this out, boys.
Man, I don't know.
That's a tough one.
I mean, I agree with all of that, but I don't shoot. Anything I would say is going to be stupid.
Maybe like Panda Dunk restocks.
That-
Only every 4
that's-
years.
yeah, once every 4 days.
All right, we need something else then. Are we up or down on? I think I probably know the answer. Everybody should be up or down on sneaking snacks into a movie theater.
100% up.
Okay, good. Landon?
Yeah.
Up.
Yeah.
What's the best? What snack do you have to besides popcorn? What do you have to have in a movie theater? What's your go-to?
Junior Mints.
Beef jerky, sunflower seeds.
What?
Sunflower seeds.
Why did you give that reaction to Junior Mints?
Junior Mints. I mean, I just would never have thought. Oh, that's a. Mine would be
Sour Patch
Is it
Kids?
Goobers? The chocolate covered
my
peanuts.
gosh.
Is that what they're called?
I guess. Goop. That's an interesting take.
That's like
What?
one that I
you have
only.
something good to say.
This takes me back. Since this is the 100th episode, we're gonna kick it back to like episode 4 or 5. You're talking about you were describing yes, a candy. It was a wax ball.
Jujube.
Jujube. Yeah. But the way that you described it was just so intricate and like Do you remember that? I made
I
a video
remember it.
about it.
Well, that's because it clogged me and I had to get it dug out of me. If you go back and check the receipts, my father had to.
Wow.
Anyway,
Yikes, that's a lot.
he's a doctor. He's
No one's hitting
medical.
us with any questions. Hit us with some, I don't like who
Hayes-
again.
I mean,
same
Bodie
question.
sent us an inappropriate message. So,
Oh,
He
okay.
did.
peanut M&Ms was one answer, and hot tamales.
Hey, M&M's got canceled. Did you see about that? Y'all see? They posted an apology. You don't see that? Tucker Carlson called him out.
What?
Y'all haven't heard about the M&M drama that's
No.
going on right now? Everybody that's watching right now, go to Twitter and look at M&M's recent statement. They are pulling their the M&M mascot people from promotions in solitude for their missteps, and it's real. It's real. Yeah.
Because racist?
No. It's you just gotta look it up. You gotta look it up. It blew my mind, and I stumbled upon it. I just saw like it was a suggested for me tweet from Eminem with this big apology. I'm like,
Oh,
Is it because
my
like
what
each of them
happened?
are supposed to be like one of the seven deadly sins? That's what I've heard. Like each M&M is like one of the seven deadly sins or something.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I also
I've just
heard
that in the past.
that there's people that are trying to cancel Aretha Franklin's "You Feel Like a Natural Woman" right this minute. How about that?
I missed what you were saying. I was reading it.
What
So,
about-
anyways, we'll
what
go to
about
our next
what about
question.
Shania
Go on to the
Twain?
next question.
Man,
Our next question is
Feel
from
like-
Bodie
No,
Gwynn.
because that's not natural.
You have the ability to rid the world of a crime forever, a single like act of criminal act,
oh wow.
but you have to commit that crime.
You're gonna steal something, right? It's easy.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. The easiest one is to steal something.
But man, that
Do
opens
you have
up.
to go to jail, Bodie? Is that part of it?
I mean,
I mean, I'd white collar it all day. I'd tax evasion.
So like the Chrysalis.
But why?
The Chrysales.
because if you have to go to jail
'Cause it's
for it,
easy.
but I could just steal a pack of gum, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I'm not
fair.
going to jail for that.
He said, "Yeah,
Yes,
go to jail."
you have to go to jail. Okay.
Can you
Um,
imagine Todd Chrisley in jail?
So I've heard about that. I've heard it's
Wow.
like a country club. Like the jail that they go to is very white collar.
Minimum
Mm.
security.
Yeah.
It looks like a condo.
So
Yeah,
like
he said-
Martha Stewart's jail.
Yeah, they get to go play tennis and stuff. I'm sure
What
they
jail
have to
is
pay
Young
for
Thug
it.
going to?
Probably not the same one.
Not that one. No,
That's
definitely.
racist.
Yikes.
The jail system is kind of
The
racist.
jail system is messed up.
Yeah. That's a bad
It's
cycle.
messed up.
All right. Thanks, Bodie, for the
Thanks,
question.
Bodie.
We're all stealing
Bodie.
something because we don't want to do any tougher crimes than
I'd kill somebody.
that.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, that's a
One trade off for a.
that's a good
$3 billion?
Yeah, you got to think about that. That is
There's got to be some degenerate person that's just like a worthless human being that we can kill.
Everyone has value.
I
Hayes.
mean,
That's not true.
it's a tough question because you're saving a lot of people on the earth.
this is a more than sneakers moment that Bodie.
That-
just
What if
brought
it's
up.
somebody that wants to die, right? Euthanize them basically, and
You really thought this through.
no, 30
No,
seconds.
I
What
was
else?
I was thinking about that. Do you do something better that's for the best for the world? Stealing is bad, but I mean,
Relatively.
it's not taking a life.
Thou shalt not steal. It's a 10 commandment. Eternal damnation.
Hey, shout out to Mike. I think Mike has literally been on this entire
I
time.
think yes. Where's intern
Yeah.
Landry?
Who are the other
Where's
two
Seth?
people?
Landry is
Seth
has
could be on here.
failed
I have
me.
no idea.
Seth, I want to see your face.
We only know Bodie and Big Mike are still on. Dean was on at one point, but
I hope
he went
it's
to
the
bed.
Swedish guy.
I hope it's the Vietnamese
Get
guy.
the Swedes on. 100
Oh.
episodes. So what's your favorite moment from 100 episodes in?
Favorite moment, 100 episodes
Or
in.
moments. This has been such a amazing therapeutic thing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like the stuff that goes on in our chat, especially like the really serious non-sneakers related stuff. Because I don't feel like I would have another community that I would. So from my perspective, my grandmother passed away this past year, and my sister called me when I was out of town. And the first person I called was my wife and said, hey, I'm getting on a plane. I literally was boarding the plane when she called me and said, hey, Nana's not doing well. They don't think she has very long. I called my wife, and then I sat down on the plane and I texted you guys. And so it's stuff like that for me that we always say this is a lot more than sneakers. That's the biggest thing for me is like I can just text the sneaker group chat, sneakers in quotes, and just say, hey, you guys, I can't talk right now. I don't know any details, but my grandmother's not doing well. Please pray for her. And you guys responded before the plane took off. And, that was the last few messages before I got up in the air that I saw. So for me, that's the biggest thing.
I would dovetail off that is when we've got a guest on and it starts just sneakers and then rolls into something more than sneakers. Yeah. And there's a couple. Alexander was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a couple on here that have just really. I mean, who was the guy? Man, he was preaching. Oh, who was that?
Man, so many of them.
There is a lot. I mean, I think the ones that jump off in my head, Nashville Man.
Yes, yes, that's yes.
Yeah, he's been on a couple times, and we'll feature some. Well, I guess we already showed the.
We'll do it more official next.
Yeah, we'll do official. We can do it on.
Hey, shout out Mike. Said we had some great guests. I think Mike was our greatest guest ever. I missed that one. Unfortunately, that was.
Who else was I gonna say? Jermaine, the guy who did the sneaker art, wall art, stuff like that. He was a good one, and Justin from Music City Vintage.
Yes,
he was preaching on here too. Yeah, when we give people the platform to preach, I agree. That's
my favorites too.
It is some of my favorite times on here.
And I would say definitely a favorite part for me was like when Justin, Alexander, Jenny, they got on and got to tell the story of their business. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think they all said like, man, I haven't had this platform in a while. I haven't thought about it. I haven't told this story in a while. So we gave them that opportunity to relive and for them to really look back and see all the great things that they've done. I think we live in this hustle mindset mentality. We never look back to reflect on like, wow, we worked so hard for that. And so that was motivational for me to hear.
I think too, is the getting through COVID in that time, what was so difficult for retail. And I enjoyed those stories as well.
Yeah. So 100%. All right. Well, that's 100. I say we should give each other flowers because that's pretty impressive.
Let's go.
Group hug.
Oh, this is great.
This is very awkward.
Hayes just kissed me. That's fine.
I didn't kiss you. I will kiss you.
Well, I think that's it.
See, look, go back. You can see go back and see the tape. I didn't kiss you.
I mean, it's fine if you did. It's all right. We're all brothers here.
All right. Anyways, I think we can sign off of episode 100. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.
Especially these 5 people or however many.
Yeah, we're down to 3. We lost one.
Love you guys.
Because they saw you kissing Landon. They said, I'm out.
Here, rap. Just do a real quick rap.
Oh, I can play some music for you.
I thought we were going to get out of here without a freestyle. We're about to lose all of our listeners.
No,
all right, live freestyle.
All of them are live, right?
Sure.
I'm in the garage and I got a deer behind me. I got Landon next to me, lacing his too. Hey, Tyler's got some dope shoes. Snowshoes. Solomon. Salamala Wallywander. I'm Mallywandin. And Landon. I wish I was camping out next to Rooted, but I ain't. I would get a hot cup of coffee, but I can't. Hermitage Cafe, RIP, rest in peace. I wish I could give you mouth to mouth with some hot grease. Because I'm dining. I'm a diner. Whiner. I'm whining about On Clouds. Dean likes them. Don't care. You got hookahs. Don't care. You got hey dudes. Don't care. I'm crocking it. whipping it up, cocaine in a crock pot, and selling it out my trunk. I haven't done cocaine in a
Cocaine
while.
in the trunk makes a reappearance. That's very fitting. Remember to go follow us on Still Drippin' TN on Instagram and Twitter. We love you all, and we'll see you next week. Peace.